Yo, what is going on today, YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. We have not done one of these in a little bit, so I figured I might as well do another one. Try to give you guys those top gods and their roles with builds, so you guys can go dominate, get your MMR up. As you guys know, I just hit 3K MMR just a few days ago. Top 10 in the game currently. I did it all in one stream. I actually tried on stream, something I very rarely do, but I've got a bunch of gods now that I think are very strong and that can easily win you ranked games. Let's jump right in. So usually I go solo to ADC. Today we'll be going ADC to solo. And the first one is a combination of Kronos and Freya. These gods really did need hastened to be good. I was of the opinion that Kronos needed to go for Hastened Ring on last patch. Unfortunately, Hastened Ring is just not good enough for Kronos. Kronos needs to be able to dip in and out of fights on cooldown with his 2, not with 1 time, and then hope you get a kill, and if you don't, then you're just useless. I also think Hecate helps him a lot. I think Freya is a bigger story of Hecate being strong than Hastened, but it is very nice that Freya now has the cooldown of Hastened Fatalis, which is just whenever you are hitting autos. So whenever her 2's up, whenever Kronos' 2 is up, they're always allowed to fight. Instead of one fight, dip out for 30 seconds, and then they can fight again. Hastened Ring was just very ineffective for both of them. This is going to be a combination 2-in-1. It's Freya and Kronos. I'm just showing Kronos because I thought it'd be boring to do 2 magical gods with the exact same build. This is literally the build for both of them. The Hunter, though, is Charybdis. And you've probably seen a few builds of maybe a shifters here, shifters there. I think now that the builds have kind of came together and you kind of can see them, I think you kind of have 2 options. Do I think Kins is as strong as it used to be? Absolutely not. I still think Kins is very much needed in this current meta. I think crit is difficult to play around. I think crit items are not very good. I think this is the best build. If you're playing a god that is less safe than Charybdis, I would go Shifters in place of Hastened. Shifters should see a nerf, but for now it's unnerfed, so feel free to use it. You can even go Shifters in place of Fatalis. It is kind of just dependent on, can you kite? If you're able to kite, Fatalis is very good on like Apollo, on Charybdis, on Rama. But if you're unable to kite, or if you want to just play super aggressive, just go Shifters in place of Hastened. You'll still feel very, very strong. It's just more towards actually having tank stats. Like if you're playing Artemis, this build is not going to be better than going Shifters here with Artemis. Now for the supports, guys, I'm going to say it again. Kuzenbo is OP and he's even better than before. Play your Kuzenbo games before he is nerfed. He is insanely busted. Warbanner, Cannoneers, Shifters, Pridwin Binding, Divine Rune, all adds together to have just a ton of protections. So this is 237 and 208. And then if you're below, Shifters actually procs. Divine gives you this little bit of extra power that feels very, very good. You can also go Spartan Flag here. I've been messing around with Warbanner a little bit more, and I think I like the sustain on it. It's just sometimes harder to play around. And then Divine when you're diving is your anti-heal option. Go Blink and go Thorns, or go Blink and go Horrific. You really don't even need Thorns because Kuzenbo overkills so much. But this build is absolutely insanely OP. Dominant, insane, broken. You'll win every game that is winnable. You'll win with this build. The next support was between 2 characters. Ares is one. The only reason I'm not putting Ares here is that Cannoneers is so OP, and Ares is a Thebes, I don't want to say reliant, but Thebes is a 30 power, 200 health, 110 protection, 15 HP 5 item for 2350 gold. Cannoneers is 0 power, 250 health, 30 protections of each, 20 HP 5 item. It's not nearly as good. If you're playing Ares, you probably should still be building Thebes. And that is why I'm putting Terra actually above him on this current patch. That's how good I think Cannoneers really is. Spartan Flag, Cannoneers, Lotus Sickle, Sona Binding. Lotus Sickle actually got that little bit of buff not too far back. I think it's kind of back in builds, especially comboing with Cannoneers. I think this makes 2 very strong items that are 2 very cheap items. And then Binding, Robe, and Pridwin. You can go Spirit Robe after the Lotus and the Cannoneers if you're getting kind of focused out. But you'll be very tanky with this build. You won't do a ton of damage, but your utility will be very, very high. For mid lane, I'm doing one thing in mid lane because I was unsure on who I thought the best god was after Nuwa. So Nuwa's number 1. Number 2, it's Ven's opinion that I stole from him. I was unsure who I'd have second. I had like Zhong close. I had Chang'e still very good. But I stole Ven's opinion, so stay for that if you're interested. Let's focus on Nuwa for now. Very easy build. She is so busted. Her 2 proccing abilities, or proccing in hands, is just insanely OP. Or sorry, her 2 proccing ability procs Good job, Bobby. It's very, very OP. And then she just does so much damage to these squishy characters. Her damage is insane, and she can just one-shot dive gods. This is the build. Reaver is still very good, but Nuwa kind of forces the enemy backliners to play smarter. Can you still build Soul Reaver? For sure, 100%, absolutely. It's just you want to worry more about getting that flat pen to hurt backliners more than you care about actually getting damage for the frontliners. And then Ven thinks Yu Wong is the strongest god in the game, and I see some potential from Yu Wong. It was just like him, Zhang, Chang'e, all are very, very strong. I went to Yu Wong, though, because Ven was so confident that this character's just absolutely busted. He actually thinks she's better than Nuwa. Very safe, very high damage. He is hard to play against currently, but he still is pretty skill shot reliant, and you have to play pretty smart with him. But if you do that, you do so much damage, so I get why Ven thinks Yu Wong is that strong. Yu Wong is strong. Yu Wong is strong. For junglers, no surprise, Erlang, we're going to spend 2 seconds on this. He gets a CC back without getting a nerf, and he gets Stone Cutting and Icklevel back, and he gets Shifter Shield back. Like, what can you say about this character? CC, damage, survivability, mitigation, reduces damage, reduces attack speed, steals protections. There are so many OP things about this character. He is impossible to 1v1. He's impossible to burst in a team fight, and he can burst you. Insanely OP character, and he's got high CC. Like, what? And then a little bit of a hot take, I think, with this second jungler. Thor was another one I was thinking. Kurt thinks Thor's very, very strong still, even after the nerf. But I'm going to say a Willix. This is another god that Kurt thinks is very, very strong. I think she's just really good at this point. Her ability to just one-shot anyone at any point, and I mean even solo laners. So she's a god that can still just rotate to solo lane and just one-shot who's ever over there. She just does so much damage. I'm a big fan of a Willix right now. Her 1v1s are insane. Pick potential's insane. Her late game isn't the greatest because she is very blink reliant, but even through that, I think she is so good in those 1v1s and in those early game that she just snowballs the map so very hard. Absolutely insane character. And then ending with solo lane, the number 2 solo laner is going to be Mulan. I have seen this character just absolutely dominate games. It's not even funny how easy and OP her laning phase is. Corrupted Bluestone also makes her do a ton of damage. Shield of the Phoenix, Contagion, Amulet of the Stronghold, Reverent Prudence, Shifter Shield. I had a guy build this against me yesterday. He dropped 48,000 damage, took 50,000, and he mitigated 90,000. Absolutely insane. He did sell the Phoenix Shield for a Spirit Robe late game, but this character is just so dominant at nearly all points in the game. She used to be a character that kind of falls off late game, but now she is worse late game than she is mid game and early game, but she just does so much damage, and she's very hard to kill through all the protections that she is getting. It is not easy playing against this god. That's why she is number 2. But she is not number 1 because of some fuck shit I've seen with this character. Oh my goodness, Ario is so back. The damage she does, the survivability, the CC, everything about this character just makes her so hard to play against. I have raving reviews for this character and how much she's able to do in early game, mid game, late game. Even if you're playing into some like tough CC comps, like where they have easy lockdown, or just if you get hit by a CC, you should die. You can just go into beads and it's not that big of a deal. So Ario is just absolutely busted. Very, very strong. Try her out. She is very good at all points in the game. Her level 1, 2, 3, 4 is because Vamp Shroud and tier 1 Shield of the Phoenix is not great. But as soon as you get to your Vamp Shroud and your Shield of the Phoenix and you have 3 or 4 points in your 1, good luck to anyone trying to gank you. But that is it. The top 10 gods, 2 in each role, in every single role with builds. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you guys have any other things that you want to know on this current patch, my thoughts on the items, anything like that, drop it down in the comments below. But I do hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys again next time. Peace.